Well, let me continue.
Hey, this is Reggie.
And hey, this is Cheryl with The Journey Awaits. We're coming to you today from
the new Echota historical site here in Calhoun, Georgia.
the Cherokee capital, state historical site.
We're in a very nice little shaded area
right
right now, and it's very comfortable. It's probably about 92 degrees outside, but it doesn't feel like that in the shaded area. We hope you enjoy this view of the new Echota historical site.
Now, what is this on the map? The Cherokee Farmstead. Right now we're in the Cherokee Farmstead, which this would have actually, what it would have looked like for the Cherokees and their home at this time.
Early 1820s, wasn't it?
During the early 1800s, a typical Cherokee family would have lived on a farmstead similar to this one.
So we'll give you guys a view.
This would have been the smokehouse.
The corn shed here. Come over here, we've been the smokehouse.
And then this is the dwelling house.
And this is what's called the dwelling house.
Which is where they would live.
This is a better view from the dwelling house. Let's take a look inside.
it after.
Now here is a road. I don't know if the road is original or if it was something that was created later on, but we're moving over here to the Supreme Courthouse, and I'll pan over here to show it to you. And that's where we're going next. Inside the building, land lot 124, 1832 survey line. Georgia sent surveyors into the Cherokee Nation in 1832 and to divide it into land lots. Later in the public lottery, the lots were given to the Georgia citizens. And the line between the lot 124 and 125 line crossed at this point. That's the significance of this line. I see it now.
The way the lottery was done for the Cherokee Nation land was your name was put in one lottery spinner, and then there was a spinner with all the lots. And when your name came up, they spun the other one, and that's what lot you got chosen. There's a list back at the main center that says which ones were chosen and who they went to.
This is called the Rogers House site rather. John Rogers was listed as a white man with a Cherokee wife. He was listed as poor in the 1831 survey of a white man living in the Cherokee Nation.
Common Cherokee farmstead with the building and two smaller buildings. Because we just came from the Supreme house and then we're here, right?
Look at the size of that pine tree, how huge it is.
Historical records, 1835 Cherokee Nation property evaluations show that the John Rogers family lived on this site in the early 1830s. This building is an example of the common Cherokee home of the early 1800s. Hundreds of Cherokee homes similar to this one once stood throughout the Cherokee Nation.
Now we're going inside the home. It's a replica, of course.
We're going to the Worcester house next, which is...
Hey, Cheryl, this section up here too as well. Look inside here.
What?
Look inside this section here. The bottom side's where the parents would have slept. The top side's where the kids would have slept at up in here.
Yes.
And to go down to the Worcester house, you must go down this direction. And yes, it is called Worcester. If I'm saying it right.
Worcester.
Samuel Worcester. Samuel Worcester, the Worcester house.
Worcester.
It's the Worcester house. This is the only building to survive at New Echota, constructed in 1828 by Reverend Samuel Worcester. This house is unique because it had closets. At the time, if you had closets, were considered having more money, and you got taxed on having closets because you were more of the wealthier.
We're off to the Van Tavern, constructed in what is now Forsyth County, Georgia, along the Chattahoochee River. The structure is an original Cherokee Tavern built about 1805.
What we're trying to do is to show you guys a preview of the things that we do.
In our backyard.
Oh, yes, in our backyard here in Georgia.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to stop by, you know, come by and see the place.
Nice to see that. All the other buildings here are replicas.
This house was moved from, I think it was Forsyth County. It would be underwater by now, under Lake Lanier. And what they did was, I'm gonna try to find some markings on here. They took each one of the boards apart and numbered the boards. And they put it back together, you know, in sequence to those numbers they had earlier too as well. Now this place here was basically your hotel, your restaurant, and everything. People coming in for a journey to have a place to stay. And where we're at today, I can't find the markings on the boards, but there are markings on the boards. It may be on the upstairs rather than the downstairs, in which each board was marked. The boards are marked because they were moved from Forsyth County to this area over here in Gordon County. Even less nowadays with budgets.
You say y'all from Dalton? Won't move much, you see a person down. Position ever done on the presses here at New Echota. Would it cost you $3 a year for the subscription for your weekly paper?
Oh, wow.
If you could read English, if you could also read, if you read just Cherokee, they charge you less money for your subscription, about $2.50
Oh, really?
a year. Yeah. Most of the readers, even amongst the Cherokee, were English readers to show the federal government, to show Georgia and surrounding states that, hey, you know,
To try to
since
save
the
the
Revolutionary
land.
War, you say, be like us, live like us, you know, we'll accept it in the melting pot. But it was just still too much racial prejudice. And
Yeah, well, they did exactly what the government asked. They did everything except for the prejudice of the Georgia.
The ranger just printed this for us as we were in there. It's the first time printed, so it did not come out as good.
This is the original volume 1, number 1 of the Cherokee Phoenix paper, which the name changed soon after to be more inclusive to other tribes throughout the southeast.
All right, that was interesting.
Very interesting.
I like it when the rangers come out.
Those 3 members were assassinated afterwards.
Or was there 2 of them? Or was it all 3
No,
of
all
them?
3 of them were. Because they didn't do what the Cherokee people wanted them to do.
Okay, these are little boxes here that we just found out this later on. You crank it up, and they give kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 options. And right now we're going to hear the Cherokee language.
The Cherokee language is unrelated to Cherokee languages. It is, however, related to other Native American languages such as Mohawk and Tuscarora. Working independently, a Cherokee man named Sequoyah had created a writing system for his language by 1821. This feat was particularly impressive, given that he was unable to read and write or speak any language outside of Cherokee. Citizens of the Cherokee Nation adopted the syllabary with such ease that by 1828, the Cherokees became the first American Indian nation to have their own newspaper, Salagi Dulehi Shanahi, or the Cherokee Phoenix. At the time of European contact, there were 3 Cherokee dialects, Overhill, Middle, and Underhill. Today, only the Overhill and Middle dialects remain. At the time of removal, the majority of the Cherokee Nation spoke Cherokee as their first language. Today, approximately 2% of the population speak it. Because of the removal, other language differences emerged between speakers in Indian Territory and North Carolina.
So peaceful out here. I hope you guys did like this preview of the new Echota Historical Site in Gordon County. Please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. And we're off to our next journey. Thanks for watching.